Hey, what's up, guys? Another episode of the Nuke Stream. Um, Glad to have you guys here tonight. We're going to be talking about how to stay sane in 2025 if you guys are actively out there dating and doing your thing. Um, and it's crazy that I have to use these words like sane and apocalypse and all that stuff because that's what it is to most people. To most people, it's the end of the world. People aren't getting laid, guys aren't getting laid, girls aren't getting what they no one's getting what they want, right? Because we think that we don't have to put in certain work or think it through. We just show up with our job and our normal clothes and are 30 pounds overweight, and this is for both sexes. And suddenly someone's supposed to like us for us, or there's compatibility and all that stuff. And I'm going to here to tell you that's all horse shit, right? But we'll dive right in, right? Uh, so dating in 2025, how to stay ahead, right? So the first thing we'll talk about, which is like the elephant in the room, is dating apps. So dating apps, hot topic. A lot of people are failing at them, if not all people. Um, what's the direction they're taking, right? What is going to happen to dating apps? Well, this is what we know. Uh, the stock price is down like 80% of what it used to be. I haven't looked it up, but if we look at let's see, Match Group stock price, um, 5 years. Let me pull it up here. Present, share screen. You guys see there, the stock price is it's 32.68 now, and it used to be 160 at its peak, right, in 2021, right? It's 169. So, um, essentially, the stock price has gone down 67% over the last 5 years, right? Since 2021, since I used it, right? The stock price, the stock price of Match correlates to how successful I have been on the apps, and it's crazy because when I was in 2021, I was getting a crazy amount of matches. But now, obviously I'm in a relationship now, but um, until recently it was much less, right? So yeah, it's undeniable at this point that dating apps are not the best way to meet people, and it's very difficult. Are there ways around this? Yes, we're going to talk about that. We're going to see how we can use this to our advantage, right? So, talked about stock price. What are the common complaints about dating apps going into 2025? Common complaints about dating apps going into dating 2025 is no matches, lots of bots, OnlyFans bots, no conversation. Cappy says like, "Hey, you can't have a dating app if there's no dates," right? Which would explain the stock price crashing like it did. Um, so, uh, I mean, I can go on the churn marketing where the algorithm plays with you like gambling, where you lose or you don't get matches for like 2 weeks, and then you all of a sudden get 4 matches, and then you don't get matches for a week, and all that stuff. Now, from the company perspective, it's like they're just trying to cycle you through to keep you interested. maybe to them it doesn't seem nefarious, right? But from a psychological standpoint, it could be seen as nefarious, right? Like, hey, I'm about to delete this app. Um, and right when you're about to delete it or thinking of deleting it, you get 3 matches. So it keeps you in that cycle and that loop, right? And they know what they're doing, right? It's a business. Their job is to stay afloat. So you are subject to churn marketing, the psychological, push and pull of these apps, which could be stressful and it could, nuke your self-esteem, if that's even a word or a thing, your self-worth, whatever they call it these days. And it could also make you spend money, like gambling, right? So those are the common complaints um, about dating apps, right? One second. Okay. So one second, guys. Something's wrong with my phone. Okay. Um. All right. So, are they worth paying for in 2025? Well, I'll take it. Here's my personal opinion, right on that. I would say in 2025, if you are currently doing well, meaning you're getting, let's say, 2 strong leads a week. When I say lead, not matches, like actual conversations where women are giving you their number and there is an attempt to set up a date. Whether it happens or not, irrelevant for the time being. But if you're getting 2 strong leads a week, I would say pay for them, right? And if you are willing to take pictures and to maximize your dating profile, professional photos, if you're willing to go that extra mile, right? Learn how to take pictures, learn how to pose, which there's guides on the internet. I've talked about this. Learn how to use your iPhone's filters and all that stuff. Learn how to build a profile, which takes a little bit of research and work and all that stuff. Then yes, go for it. What's the worst that could happen? I don't know the prices these days, but I would say I think it's like $100 for like 3 months. What's the worst that could happen, right? You get 0 matches, you spend $100, at least you know for sure that the apps don't work for you, right? But that's only if you're invested. Like, don't pay $100 when your profile is shit. You're not getting anything. You could be. Uh, I don't know how the shadow banning works, but if you delete the app and then re-download it, um, and then delete your profile and then re-download it or restart it with the same email number, it will flag because they think you're trying to game the system, right? That's why I say, hey, 92 days after you delete your profile, wait, 3 months, 3 months and 2 days, and then um, create the profile again with your same phone number and email, and because by 92 days, your matched group will dump all your information off their servers. So it's like you're back again in the middle of the pile. You're not down here. You do here. You're up here, right? So whenever you're cycling through your dating apps or using your dating apps and you're not getting matches or things get stale, um, then you can do that and it will put you back. I don't want to say the top of the pile, but at least the middle of the pile, right? Like a new profile. They want when people get new profiles or sign up for the first time to have at least something so they can, stay on the app longer. Um, Interestingly enough, 90% of people that download the apps delete it within a month. Or sorry, 80%? 80%, I think, delete it within a month. And then 90% of those people delete it within a week, right? So people are kind of done with dating apps. Like the people are not getting what they want. Women are probably getting shitty conversations or completely overwhelmed. They can't even, there's just too much choice, too much hate, too much shitty profiles they got to sift through. And then, even if they go on a date, the guy's weird or whatever, right? And on the other hand, guys are just not getting dates or even matches, right? So, you know, not the best thing right now. So, uh, advantages and disadvantages of every dating app. So Tinder has advantages like Hinge, Bumble, Facebook dating, sugar dating apps. All those have advantages and disadvantages. Um, I've never used sugar dating apps, but I would just go off what like other people have told me that I've interviewed or just talked about it. So advantages of Tinder. So Tinder is kind of free for all. You could post shirtless pics on Tinder. I don't think you can do that on Hinge. Maybe there's a pass if you're at the beach or something, but on Tinder, it's a free for all. There really isn't that many rules. Tinder, you can um, as you move, it's also scanning the area for girls, right? So if let's say you live in Dallas and you have to work in Arlington or you have to work in Fort Worth, and I'm just driving along, and as I'll open my Tinder and swipe, and it'll be like I'm a new person. I'll start at the top of the pile because when you move to another area or move to another place, even though if it's next door or another country or wherever, you get the top of the pile, right? I don't know if you've got noticed Tinder, when you're on your Tinder in a foreign place or far away from home, you start getting really hot chicks out of nowhere. You're like, what the hell? Like these chicks are like 8 out of 10s. That's because you're the top of the pile because you're new, right? And that's just how the Tinder algorithm works, and that has not changed since I've started using it. That has not changed, right? So yeah. All right. So uh, let's see. All right. So yeah. So another thing about Tinder is that if you pay for it, you can move your location wherever you want in the world, right? Like you can do if for you guys that like to travel or like to or about to travel somewhere, you can scope out the local talent, at least get an idea, right? Maybe uh get a match with a date on a date with a girl in a city before you get there. I've done that in the past, and it works pretty well because again, when you move your location, and you when you pay for Tinder Plus and you move your location, you get the top of the pile, right? And that has not changed. Still, you still get the top of the pile, right? Um, on on Hinge, you cannot do that, right? Hinge does not like it when you change your location around, right? It kind of makes you open the app, like slide around the map thing, and it's Hinge is more designed for people to meet people within close by because they want you to get in a relationship with the app, right? That's their marketing um, campaign, or that's what they say. Another advantage of Tinder is that you can filter, but you have to pay. So you could filter by height, I believe. I don't correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you can filter by race, but I think you can filter by age. Yeah, you can filter by age on Tinder, but you have to pay, right? Which is I would say that's a disadvantage because Hinge you can filter everything for free, right? I think Bumble too. I'm not sure about Bumble uh, if that's the case, but yeah. So Tinder is you have to pay for to start filtering for women. Um, I don't think I think Tinder kind of punishes you a little bit if you're picky, right? Whereas Hinge, if you whittle down what you want, let's say you want Southeast Asian women, and you're okay with anything from 4'10" to 6 feet or whatever. And I think Hinge kind of rewards men that are more specific in what they want on that app, right? Um, and I think that's so if you're on Hinge, Hinge is a good way because the filtering is free. It's a good way to whittle down what you want, right? Like obviously, if let's say you're searching for like a girlfriend or you want to date specifically within an age group, right? Maybe you like MILFs, like you'll be like 35 plus, right? Or maybe you like young women, right? So 18 and 25, right? So when you put in these filters, and you get to choose by race or all that stuff, I think Hinge rewards that. They like that you know what you want, so they will reward you. If you have it all like free for all everything, then it's kind of like the Hinge is trying to figure out what like they're trying to see your habits, but you're liking all types of women from all types of backgrounds and all that stuff. So if you are still using the dating apps and you have money to spare and you're doing well on one or two of these apps, pay for them both, right? And realize that your Tinder and your Hinge are like they both have advantages and disadvantages, which will cancel each other out, right? So Hinge is able to um, be specific in the type of girl you want, whereas Tinder you can't do that as much. But Tinder, as you move around your city or go to across the country or wherever another country, you will be able to. you'll be able to get matches because Tinder's scanning the area and presenting you with the hottest woman when you move even 20 minutes away. Um, and all that. So yeah. So if the apps are giving you something, or if you're getting at least one solid date or one solid lay every 2 weeks, I'd say keep the apps. If not, and it's been like 3 or 4 months, delete the apps. Give it 92 days. Just work on meeting women in real life, your social life. Focus on that, and then um, move on to um, real life and talk to real people and build your social life there. You don't have to submit yourself to this churn marketing. It's not healthy for you, and honestly, it's a buffer against rejection, right? Like, not being rejected in person is not good for you. So hey, what's up? If it isn't Terrence Pop himself, how you doing, brother? Nice to see you here. Hope you had a happy holidays, a good Christmas, and we gotta talk sometime, man. Gotta talk. I really like our show together, and hope you're doing all right, man. Just got done with my stream, and I am checking in. Keep up the good fight, gentlemen. Yes, we are. We won't let you down, Pop. It was good. Oh yeah, that's good. It's about to get really cold here in Dallas. It's coming down pretty hard where you're at, right? You're in Philly, right? Oh yeah, I'll make time, man. And I'll pop up. I love the show. I love the format and all that stuff. So we got Viking. Yeah, Detroit. Isn't Detroit like it's snowing really hard there, right? Or it's getting really cold. It should be because of that winter storm. Hasn't started in Baltimore. Yeah, it's about to start like soon. Yeah, guys, take care of yourselves, man. Like, we had a Dallas freeze in 2021. Man, there was like old people freezing to death here, and I went around the block helping people pull their cars out because they decided to drive and all that. But it was rough. My brother's apartment got to like 35 degrees, and he lived an hour and a half away, and I had no way of getting to him because the highways were completely closed. So you know, so yeah. Is that the real Pearl? Is that you? Hey Maz, check if that's the real her. I'm on StreamYard right now. Dating market is crashing. Time to sell. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. The Match Group is going to shit. Like, and like Cappy says, you can't have dates. You can't have a dating app if there's no dates, right? You'll have to rely on churn marketing and give guy. You have to rely on hope. Like, hey, I hope that I get a match, and it's been 3 months and guys are still swiping, and is that ethical? You know, um, I don't think so. I think that you should be very careful, and if you use them, realize that, hey, it's not designed really for you to win, right? It's designed for you to stay on there. And as long as you have that in your head and you're sure of it, then you should be fine. So, um, so hold on one sec. All right. Okay. I used to get hundreds of matches. Wow. Yeah. You are not used to it. They report good looking guys, really? Really? You get banned for not replying? Yeah, cold as a witch's tit. Yeah, I don't want to imagine. Like, I couldn't live up there in Detroit. We're up to 555 live save. You hear that, guys? 555 live save. And I wonder how much we can save in 2025. That's really good. It's really good news. I often, hey, Jack, what's up? Is it really you, Pearl? Stop playing with me. Hold on. Maybe she texted me. Let's see. Oh, we got a $5 super chat. Um, ¿Qué pasa, comandante? Oh, wait, hold on. You get one of these, sir. I'll give you one of these.
Thank you so much, best friend!
Que pasa, comandante radioactivo? Apologies for being MIA. Been cooking stuff for 2025. Oh, that's good, man. Appreciate the $5. Hey, man, we're all trying to cook something for 2025. So stay on your purpose. Um, yeah. So yeah, guys, it's very important. As the year goes on, right? And this is part of the show topic today is that you guys really, really, really need to understand that you are a human being as a man. The society forgets that you are human. They think that your whole life is sacrifice, give to others, give up your dreams, your hopes to make women happy, and these women, like not even women, everyone happy, and they wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire, right? So try to be selfish. Now live for yourself and the people that care about you, right? Obviously, um, because if you don't, that path is going to lead you to insanity, right? And that's what I'm saying. That's part of staying sane in 2025 is like, hey, you no longer can afford sacrificing yourself for people that don't care about you, right? You do enough at your jobs, you can get by and get promoted. You do enough for women, so maybe you can get laid or something, but you don't do anything more than you have to, right? Because your sacrifice means nothing to these people, right? Your sacrifice means nothing. It will never be enough. You will work harder, you will spend more, you will do everything, and it will still not be enough. So live for yourself, and you know, it's the best thing you can do as a man for your mental health is to be selfish, right? Being truthful to the heart, man. Plenty of fish. Oh, all the guys in the military, we use that one all the time. I met a crazy girl on Plenty of Fish, and then she hit me up during the pandemic. About 3 years, no, 4 years later, um, that she was in rehab for hitting a cop. Good times. Yeah. Crazy. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, I can't tell on StreamYard. Uh, so I only got likes from 35 plus BMI are literally invalids. Man, it's my height. Oh shit. Hey, we got a $20 super chat. You get one of these, sir.
Thank you so much, best friend.
Let's get this off the screen. Happy New Year. Find your purpose and keep laughing. It really does help in the bad times. Yeah, it really does help, guys. Like, stop taking everything so seriously, especially when people don't know you. You have to laugh, right? I remember on my first cruise in the Navy, my first deployment, we were in one of our workshops, and we were getting briefed about some kind of big maintenance thing that we were about to do. Right, it was the middle of the night, lots of work. And I saw one of my coworkers playing with the rope. Right, as Navy guys, we like tie ropes and all that stuff. And I look up, and then I look back down, and he's tying a noose. Right, and I'm like, holy shit, he's tying a noose. And then my other friend, or the guy, my supervisor, looks at it, and he's like, "Nice, you're getting better at those." He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, but you gotta untie it because we'll get in trouble." And that's the kind of humor, guys, in the military. It's really, really dark humor, right? But that's that's what keeps you going in life, is that you have to laugh at it all, like the absurdity. Remember, there are a lot of people that are trying to sell you this absurdity, right? Like, hey, you have to pay for a woman you have to pay for dinner on a first date, like to a woman you don't know, right? Like $150 just for the chance to sit in front of her. That's insanity. You know that's insane. But they're trying to normalize that, so you just laugh in the girl's face, like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not paying for a meal, you know, not even Chipotle. I don't know you, so you just gotta laugh it off and move on. And you're alive. As long as you're alive, you're still in the fight. Like Pop says. So thank you. Thanks, Pop, for the $20. All right. So Fake Pearl has given me $9.99. Thank you, Fake Pearl. On one.
Thank you so much, best friend.
Heart symbol. Thank you, fake pearl. I'll tell real pearl that that fake pearl sent me a heart. Happy New Year, Terrence. Everyone wish Terrence Pop a happy New Year in the chat. Motherfuckers in the military 9 times out of 10 are the most hilarious dudes in the group. Yeah, I mean, my like one of the issues I had when I got out the military is my humor. I had to tone it down. My friends could not handle it. Like I would say some dark stuff and they would be like, "Bro, like, are you all right?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Right? So a lot of veterans when they get out, especially in the workplace, they get in trouble because their humor is really dark and they have to tone it down because these Karens um can't handle it. Yeah, W fake pro. We got fake pro in the chat. My CI background checks is fake pro. Yeah, it's fake pro. I ran it through one of those background checks and all that stuff. Um, but yeah. Um, yeah, guys, everyone wish everyone wish fake Pearl Davis, Viking Paradigm, Marty, Jack, and Terrence Pop a happy new year in the chat. Wish them all a happy new year and much prosperity for the new year. Wish Marty incels a happy Chinese New Year though, because he has the red colors. Yeah, so Hinge, Bumble, we talked about that. Bumble, I mean, it used to be that a girl had to talk to you first, and we know that that kind of tanked their company because didn't understand like female behavior, and all that. So, oh yes, everyone wish Filipino working at CBS a happy new year. Wish Julian Reyes a happy new year. Wish all these guys, everyone wish each other a happy new year. Yeah, and unsubscribe from Nuke in 2025. So, um, yeah, so Bumble, Bumble has like very good quality women, right? But it's just the dynamic. It's the company's run by a woman, right? So they don't even less they. I mean, Match Group CEO, I think 2 years ago was a woman, and she was the second highest paid CEO in Dallas. But these people are trying to like hack their way through hypergamy. They don't understand that women are on these apps just for attention or for the top, you know, top talk. And when it comes down to it, like Bumble, the algorithm doesn't seem very favorable. I don't know a lot of people that met a Bumble, but it's like a mixture between Tinder and Hinge, and it really tries to help with prompts and all that stuff. But deep down, like um, use it at your own risk. Is it worth the money? I've never used money on Bumble. Never thought. I haven't even gotten uh any luck on Bumble now that I remember. So yeah, but all right, so yeah, Facebook dating is kind of like watered down, really cheap app. Um, yeah, it's pretty chill. It's safe from your normal profile, so no one will know who you really are if you're using your profile on Facebook. It's very separate from that. The quality isn't so great in terms of women, but it's an option. It's free, and it's bound to improve or something. But yeah, uh, and then sugar dating. I don't know much about sugar dating. I just know that as long I guess there's wealthy guys that use it because they don't want to waste their time with the whole courting and all that. And who could blame them, right? Um, and I think for the most part, sugar dating apps is it's just I guess you set the expectation and you meet, and it's probably the best quality because the hottest girls want to get paid to exist and all that stuff. I don't know if I would ever use one. Um, if I was wealthy, but sure. Yeah. The co-creator's name is Sarah. They stopped talking to me after I trashed Kamala Harris. LL. Is that a good story coming up? Yeah. All right. So moving on. So yeah, that's basically what I have for dating apps for 2025. Treat it like a fishing rod, right? You leave the fishing rod there, you go do other stuff, and if you see the line moving, then you go check it. and then like that. It don't make it your main way to meet women because you're um you're going to you're gonna go crazy, right? You're gonna be subject to churn marketing and feel like you know psychologically it's gonna harm you, right? But yeah, yeah, she got like a big settlement or like she won a big lawsuit and then she used that money to start Bumble. Yeah, dating apps are a hookup app for women, right? It's not for you, right? And that's the thing as a guy you need to understand. Like dating apps are made for women to hook up with guys. It is app by women for women, right? And you have to pay. Genius design, right? If you're a girl, that's a genius design, right? So yeah. All right. So this brings me to the to what you should be shifting your focus to if you want to meet the ladies, and that's in real life activities, right? Um, I've heard reports of places where, the ladies congregate. Um, that's not a club or a bar or anything, and that's like sporting events. So you have different physical activities where because people there are fit and they're doing a team sport or a team activity, anything that requires you to move and um, talk to other people and coordinate things, those are good places to meet the ladies these days. So I'm hearing, right? We have different physical activities, including like run clubs. Those are very popular. Like the endorphins you get, people are in a good mood. As we know, most women are in a sour mood all the time. You need alcohol and SSRIs to just even crack a smile these days. But um, run clubs, usually you're going to meet more fit women, happier women, and the endorphins and lack of stress and de-stressing is probably more conducive to more positive, fun women in those environments, right? Same thing with like another thing that's popularizing is pickleball. There's pickleball courts popping up all over the place here in the U.S. in the cities. Um, so it's a good activity to play with your friends. And then, the ladies like it too. Tennis is another big one. There's tennis courts all around here. Fat women can't play tennis, right? Fat people can't play tennis. You'll meet fit people at least, and girls look really cute in tennis skirts, right? Um, yeah, and the next one is rock climbing. Rock climbing is a great place to meet women too, because again, it's a very social environment. You're doing contests, you're timing yourself. You're gonna meet really, yeah. So, um, and then we have dance studios. So dance studios is another good one where you're actually expected to have physical contact with women. You join a dance studio or a dance team and you just dance and you meet the ladies. And then when you're not practicing for an event or anything, you can go out in the city and find a dance place and you're probably going to be one of the top dancers where you go because that's your thing. Um, and once you do that, right, you're going to be around more women and even make friends too. It's a social environment, right? So all these places are much better than dating apps and more conducive. And if even if you don't meet that many women, you'll still make friends. You'll still burn off calories. You'll still get in shape, um, and you'll be outside. It's good for your mental health, right? So yeah, um, the gym. People talk about the gym being a place to meet women, and I say it's not the best because it is a solo activity, right? So you can go in there with your headphones on and you don't you can never talk to anyone while you work out, and you know that'll be your whole year of going to the gym not talking to anyone, right? um People have like a get in get out mindset to the gym, like they're not there to socialize, they just want to get their workout in and go back to their life, their job, their kids, their whatever they have to do. The gym is like an errand to them, like another part of the day that they have to get in and get out. It's not like a fun social activity all the time. And there's lack of social proof, right? Like if you go play pickleball and you get really good at pickleball, people know you, people want to play with you. Same thing with volleyball, sand volleyball, bar volleyball, whatever you call it. There's volleyball places where there's tournaments and there's, you'll meet fit women and you'll play with them and you'll get good, or your team will win a tournament and then you get some kind of social proof and then, you'll meet women there. The gym, who the fuck knows who you are? You just go in, you can be the most jacked dude and people will still not know who you are, right? You're going to have to constantly be talking to everyone, interrupting your workout to like have a chat with people and all that stuff. So it definitely is not a very social activity in the gym for lifting, right? Obviously, there's classes and like yoga classes and stretch classes and all that stuff. But again, those a lot of people see those things as like an errand, another part of the workout. They're just trying to go get done and move on for the day, right? So consider physical activities. I would say pickleball is right now is pretty awesome. If I was single, I'd probably be doing that. I mean, I'm already in the dance scene and all that. And in the past, the dance scene has delivered me very beautiful women, but even that can get stale. You can get bored of it, or um, like you want to do something else, right? So, yeah. All right. So yeah, those are the things that will keep you sane. Leaving the dating apps more like they're fishing rods, right? You just put them on the back of the boat. If you see them tug, then you'll check. If they're not tugging, leave them alone. Like don't swipe all day. Don't make that the only way you can catch fish, right? There's other ways to catch fish, and I would say like these these uh these team or these group physical activities. And if you guys know any more, just drop them in the chat. Those are really good ways to meet women. The problem is that they're not really sexual zones, right? I know you guys may think, well, what about dancing and all that? Because it is kind of a sexual zone. And I'm like, yes and no, because yes, while you are touching women and it's, there's alcohol usually involved and all that stuff, right? A lot of the times, it's more of a social environment, right? Like you will dance with the same four women for months, and they become your friends. And yes, there's new girls that come in and dance with you, right? But even then, it doesn't it's more of a social environment, right? So focus in all of these social environments that like run club, pickleball, rock climbing, even yoga, hot yoga, whatever you're into. Focus first on social proof. Win everybody over. If you're doing a sand volleyball tournament, be very friendly, talk to everyone with respect, get to know people, be friendly. Don't go in there guns blazing and talking to every woman. No. Again, social circle game, talk to everyone, treat everyone human. And within all that mix, you're going to be sitting down after a game one day and some girl's going to approach you and, you'll hit it off. Where to play pickleball? I mean, look at your Google Maps, right? Like pickleball. There's pickleball studios or courts, right? There's tennis courts, whatever you're into. You got to do something, right? We can't just be inside all day. We can't just go to the gym with their headphones and leave and be mad that we don't have access to these hot women that are at the gym, right? We have to do our research. We have to care. So um, find out where these gyms or sporting activities are, and uh, go break the ice. Like get your balls, grab your balls, and be like, I'm gonna go do something, and go there. I mean, you may like it, right? And over time you may make friends, and then those friends may introduce you to other friends, and then you'll have women or a girlfriend in no time, right? And that's the biggest thing in 2025 is that the big divide is going to be people that are social and people that are not social, the people that live online and the people that don't, right? There's a reason every Wednesday I post myself being social, like at my bachata nights, right? It's because like, hey, no matter what happens, no matter what you think I am literally twirling women around every Wednesday. These women are my friends, right? But still, I'm socializing. I'm having a drink. I'm talking about life with people, right? I'm I'm out doing things. So you want to do that. You want at least once a week go out and talk to people, socialize. I know it's cold out right now, but try to give yourself a shot. It doesn't have to be in a place where there's a lot of women. Just like hang out with your friends, do something, socialize, be friendly, because that's what's going to separate you from everyone else. You know. Yeah, it's social proof. Yeah, we got a 569 super chat from Dark Knight Dev. You get one of these.
Thank you so much, best friend!
Dark Knight Dev with a 569. Thank you, sir. Becoming a bartender helps. Constantly around women and serving drinks. Women are more of the alcoholics than men now. Alcohol feels better when fun. Yeah, yeah. A bartender will solve your reproductive problem. You won't ever have to worry about women again. Like you have no reason to even have abs. Like you will be drowning in women. It really is one of the biggest hacks. It's like being a dance instructor, or it's one of those jobs where like, yeah, it doesn't even make a lot of money, but if you do it, you wouldn't even need to spend money on dates because you'll be taking women home all the time. It's ridiculous, right? So for you young guys that are trying to go through college or trying to starting out in life, you want a second job to make ends meet. Bartenders solves two problems: your girl problem and your socializing problem. You'll meet good people. So, and if you guys are super jacked and strong, bouncer too. You get an excuse to beat up drunk people, which is always fun. So yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to marry them. That's not the point. The point is not marrying them. The point is like, hey, you know, you get to have fun. Yeah, send them my way. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Once you're a bartender, it's just enjoy, bro. You're gonna have a good time. Um, that's a lack of social proof. All right, so what's next? Let's take a step back from all the very specific good advice, and we're going to talk about how dating will be discussed by everyone in 2025, right? So the scientists, politicians, and social commentators that we love hearing their opinions on what we do with our dicks, right? Will continue to tiptoe around the problem. I mean, over and over again, every single conservative pundit, social commentator, scientist, researcher, podcaster, Joe Rogan type guy always has this kind of like, what happened? Why aren't men dating? Why aren't men doing this? Why are men paying? Why are men trying harder? It's just like, dude, like, how many times are you gonna ask this question? Like, seriously, guys don't care anymore, right? It's like people can't understand that people are incentivized. Like you forgot incentives. It's like what I did in my Rule Zero show. Like guys keep getting fooled by other people, and they don't realize that the reason they're getting fooled is because they don't understand human behavior and that it's incentivized. So when all these social commentators are saying, "Hey, like it's guys are guys are quitting because of one guy said this in the red pill and he programmed and convinced guys to be like him." Like, no, that's not true. People aren't swayed like that. It's just like, what's the incentive? What's the incentive for people that don't understand how the game works? What's the incentive, really? And then you ask the women for the same thing. You ask women the same thing. What is the incentive for them to settle down? What do you get for getting with a regular guy? Nothing. 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 There is nothing that getting in a relationship at 23 for a girl solves. And just like there's nothing that marriage solves either as a guy. So there is no reason to get with a woman like on a survival level or any level. You do it because you want to, because it's a choice. And people hate that. And they don't understand that. And they'll do anything to stop painting women in a bad light. So um so scientists, they'll continue to cite safe studies that paint women in a positive light, right? So every time there's this complaint about the dating or the birth rate or whatever, they're gonna make it's gonna be our fault, right? Like men aren't stepping up, the typical. It's always our fault over and over again, and it's like, okay, um, if you're gonna keep blaming me, then sure, but the truth is that you you blame men and men aren't even getting laid. Like what you know what I'm saying? Like you really you really think that men are gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna try harder. No, they're gonna be like, well, F you then. I don't care anymore. And that's exactly what they should do. Right. All right. So, um, let's see. Oh, wrong button here. Okay. Um, a lot scientists will spend a lot more energy discrediting the red pill than actually working to find a solution, right? So instead of them coming together and trying to figure out, a solution to this, which there really is none, but let them to have their research money and figure it out. But most of the time, they're just gonna blame the red pill and guys that talk about women and guys that tell their guys don't get married, it's not worth it. They're gonna blame those guys, right? Because that's it. That's all they have. They don't have a solution. Their solution is blame someone else because that's the easiest thing to do is blame someone else. So cool. Why don't they just blame someone else and then move on? Cool. Thanks. Problem solved. You know, I get it. Blame someone else. That's really the best thing you can do. So yeah, awesome. All right, so politicians will try to enact policies, but will not touch things like abortion, dating apps, or anything that will restrict women's sexual power. Right. So now we're talking about politicians, right? So politicians will do a couple things. They'll try to, maybe they'll legislate a dating app or they'll investigate Tinder for its algorithm and all that stuff. But remember, like for example, we have this Doge thing now. Doge will probably do a little bit of good work, they'll but whenever it comes to something that benefits women, like let's say women's health care for them to unalive babies or something like that. They will not touch that, right? Anything that affects women's sexual agency is off limits to the gynocracy. So don't expect politicians, no matter how much they promise, to correct any or make it easier for you to get laid or stay married. They will not. They're not going to change the laws. They're not going to change, remove alimony. I know that Florida, I think, removed alimony, but after how many years, right? After how many years did it take them to be like, hey, remove alimony? And even then, like there's probably ways around it, right? So don't expect anything from the politicians or the government. Again, as simple as it sounds, I have to keep saying it. No one is coming to save you. They are not interested in you. You're just in the way. They don't care about your that you get married and have kids. They don't care that that you get laid. They don't care. Society does not care about men, and it will never care about men. Right? So get used to it, stop your whining, and move on because they don't care. So, yeah. And the social commentators, these are the worst. These are like the podcasters and the people that like they love going out of their lane to discuss dating because like once you hit a certain amount of followers and cloud whatever you they get this like internet effect where it's like hey I know everything about everything. So I'm gonna get a guy on my show to so he can agree with me constantly, and because I have a lot of followers, that means I know everything about everything. I understand everything. Um, and uh, so you got to understand that influencers, social commentators, podcasters, whatever, their main goal is to make money on their platform, and they're slaves to the algorithm and money, right? So if one day the algorithm pays them to say that women are awesome and men suck, they will do that, and a lot of them end up doing that, right? There is not a lot of money in telling women that they suck. And if there is a lot of money, you have to really, really dumb down your show and make it like just that, right? You can't like shows like mine right now. I have a very like balanced view of the game. Obviously, I dunk on men as much as I dunk on women, but realize that the bottom line is the bottom line, and these expensive shows have to make money, and they have to keep the lights on. Right? I have a job. I can end this tomorrow and I'll be fine. But those podcasts don't. So they need to keep the lights on. So they have to say or do whatever it takes, or bring on whoever it takes to keep their employees employed, their business running, right? So keep that in mind when you follow these podcasts. Um, and they're easily bought out too, right? Like if a podcast is failing and Rumble comes along and says, or someone comes along, hey, we'll buy your podcast, but never talk about this again, or change it up, or don't talk about women like that, then they will do it, right? Because running a podcast is expensive, right? So keep that in mind when you guys are watching or consuming this stuff. Be careful. Um, and also realize that normal, good advice or good mental models, they're not bombastic. They're boring. It's like C-SPAN. Um, I don't come on here and like show you extreme examples or egregious examples like TikTok where it's just like women doing like crazy stuff, and I don't like to use those examples because those examples are very far removed from normalcy. Do they happen? Yes, of course. But the day to day, the stuff that you guys need from me, that's what I'm doing. And it doesn't pay very well as compared to other things because I'm not doing anything crazy. Um, so yeah. Uh, let's see. So yeah, oftentimes it's correct, right? A lot of the things when they're people using these examples, but they're not appealing to the masses as they focus more. Um, eh, their focus is on bombast to get emotions rather than education, right? So yeah. So ultimately, there's going to be a divide, right? And I've said it. I said it last year on Rule Zero, on my first Rule Zero appearance, and I'll say it this year on my first show of the year. Is this my first show of the year or second? No, this is like my second show of the year. I'll say it like this, guys. There's gonna be a big divide, and it's not gonna be with money and no money, and it's not gonna be with like white people and brown people or black people or anyone. It's not gonna be location or any of that stuff, right? Everyone is um so obsessed with money and race and status right now, because of the politics and money is everything and blah blah blah, whatever. But really, what's going to come down to it's people that are social, that are building a robust social life and strong family ties and building that stuff, and then people that are not. The people that are online talking about dating women in the abstract versus the guys that are out there actually living their life. That's going to be the big divide, right? The new elites are not people with money or white people or black people or brown people or whatever. It's the people that have a social life, plain and simple. And that ranges, right? If your social life is just hanging with your friends and having beers, that's not the best. You should probably do more than that. But, when your social life is you go out on Wednesday, you dance, you meet women, you meet people from all backgrounds, and then I meet my guy. I'll meet a follower here in Dallas and have drinks and chill and get to know them, and then Friday, I go out again, sometimes with my girlfriend, sometimes with my friend, go out and dance, talk to people, get sweaty, burn off all alcohol, have a whiskey, and then maybe go have cigars with my friend on Sunday, and then I'll go have lunch with this person, and then go shooting with this person, and take Tarashi to the dog park and talk about people with, just like live a full life and be completely engaged and invested. And, those are the people that are going to be the new elites, right? Because as life goes on, as the year goes on, more and more people are going to live online, right? The data shows, especially Generation Z, they live most of the time online behind a screen. They see, that's all they care about, and that's all they see, right? So they're going to have a very abstract view of reality. Meanwhile, I'm out here and I did the thing and I had a social life and I made the best of it and all that stuff. And I learned, and that's why my take seems so grounded in reality because I'm like, I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking from, it's not a telephone game where someone said something and then it got to me and I said something completely different. Like this is directly from boots on the ground experience, you know. So yeah. So yeah, build a robust social life. Very important. Have the right attitude towards dating apps. Like I said before, it's just a fishing rod. You check it. If something yanks on it, then something yanks on it. If something doesn't yank on it, then something doesn't. Right. So yeah. Uh, let's take a quick break. So, okay, build a robust social life, have the right attitude towards dating apps. Talked about that. Quietly enjoy your dating life, right? Like, don't be posting unless you know they're your girlfriend or something. Enjoy women quietly. You don't need to brag about them. You don't need to boast about them. Shutting the fuck up in 2025 is going to be one of your greatest assets, right? In a world where everyone has to constantly share everything they do, whoever they have sex with, whoever they don't have sex with, whoever they bitch about, your conversations, all that, all that's going to do is get you in trouble. It happened to me several times, but yeah, enjoy women quietly, right? Have emotional discipline. Like the guys, also the elites will be the guys that understand how to get rejected. Not taking women seriously. That's going to be a big one. Dealing with your emotions and your breakups intelligently and all that. Same thing as always. Those are gonna be the guys that are gonna be ahead in 2025. Um, Ditching the doomer mindset, but also realizing that things are changing. You must stay ahead, right? So the doomer mindset is very contagious. You may have one or two bad dates, and then you go online and someone has this long paragraph about it's all over and women suck or whatever, and uh, it's contagious. You'll be like, yeah, like some part of you will want to agree and be like, this guy talks a lot of sense. But the truth is here is that um, that's not conducive to anything, and it's just gonna make you quit. And you will always wonder, maybe what if I tried a little harder? Would I have gotten what I wanted? You know. Um, you must, however, realize or come to terms with, hey, things are changing. Right? The game is changing. It may not be changing in the way you want it to be or should go, but it's changing, right? And your number one thing to stay ahead is look how it's changing. How is AI influencing dating? How is my location? Like, what is the next big trend? What is the next big app? What are women saying? What's working? Trade notes. The guys with boots on the ground, like trade notes with them. The local guy that's getting laid a lot. Your friend that's doesn't have problems with women. Where is he going? Right? Start being smart and strategic. Stop thinking that women are just going to show up in your life at some point and you're just going to be like, oh, cool. No. I know a lot of guys like to say that, like, hey, you just be cool and do things and women show. I'm like, no, no, absolutely not. You have to go to the pool party. You have to go to the dance night. You have to go to the rock climbing gym. You have to go on walks with your dog. You have to move to where there's hot women. You have to take action, right? You cannot just say, "Hey, I'm so awesome that women just pop in my life." No, unless you're in college where there's hot women around you all the time, you have to take action. You have to be strategic, right? So, yeah. And then finally, what's gonna be very helpful in 2025 is sexual discipline, right? Like, wrap it up. STDs are rampant. Women are getting busy. So, and there's new strains of STDs every year. So wrap it up. Be careful out there. Uh, don't want to get girls pregnant. So sexual discipline will get you far. So practice that, and 2025 will be your year, as 2024 was if you were applying this stuff. These aren't predictions, right? These are just it's like defense mechanism strategy. Stop thinking with entitlement that women owe you anything. Even if you put in the work in life. There are gonna be times that you will be like on paper exactly what women want, and you will get no matches. You'll get rejected 4 or 5 times. You'll get ghosted. Be steady, relax. There's gonna be a point when once you start hitting your stride that you're gonna have too many dates or too many opportunities. You're gonna be too tired, right? Don't be afraid to make big tweaks to your life, right? Like if you're living in Miami and you can't get girls to like you or whatever, or you're not getting dates, move to Austin if you can. Austin is like the mecca for men getting laid in the United States, right? Move to what's that city in Arizona? I forgot. Not Phoenix. What's the other one? Forgot. Move to Nashville, right? New York, any place where it's very forgiving for men to get laid. Think about this. Think about these things now, and work hard so you can move to a better area, right? Hey, if you're in the rural area and you're not getting laid, time to move to the city. What's so scary about a city, right? I'm 30 here in Dallas, 30 minutes in any direction, and you're out in the country. There's cows and ranches, right? It's not like you're gonna be in this like apocalyptic cyberpunk place full of degeneracy. Like, no, it's just a city. It's not that big a deal. It ain't gonna kill you. Just move closer to the city. Work hard so you can pay a little bit more rent. And here in my building, right? There's beautiful women all around walking their dogs. Everyone's fit here. Everyone runs. There's yoga studios all over the place. The women are attractive, right? Much more than the average woman. And that's because I chose to live in a place that was very nice. Uh, so yeah, guys, it's strategy. It's all strategy. Let the scientists, the dorks, the angry people be angry. You have to win, right? You have to win. And if you want to win, take your emotions out of it for a second and think, let me be strategic and trade notes with guys that are um winning, right? And that's it. Everything in this video is going to help you probably for 2026 as well. So, yeah. All right, let me read these last two super chats. You want to do
Thank you so much, best friend!
or for the $5? To be honest, I tell guys to get out and read up on their survival manuals from the OGRP days. Just start by saying hi to 5 strangers and go from there. Yeah, guys just wanna they don't wanna put in the work, man. Like they think they're above it. Oh, I don't need that. I can just do this and I'm gonna do it my own way. I'm like, no, dude, you're a human being. You have the same DNA as everyone else. You have to socialize, talk to people, right? You'll be surprised how who's open to talking. You'll be surprised. There are gonna be times when you open up a chick. It's gonna be a casual conversation, and she won't shut the hell up. Right? I was buying dog dog treats. I was at the puppy store down the street buying Tadashi some treats, and the lady behind the counter, was making quick small talk, and man, I had to like turn my back and leave the store for her to be quiet. Right? There's a lot of lonely people out there that want to talk, so don't be afraid. You ain't important. You ain't shit, and that's okay. The world does not care about your existence that much. So go out there and talk. Ask questions. Calibrate. Socially calibrate. We got Jamal Load for the 4.99. You get
Thank you so much, best friend!
Jamal Load for the 4.99. Been talking to a girl for about a month, but she's kind of cringe. What's the best way to stop seeing her? Don't want her to feel like I used her. Well, you got to stop with this guilt stuff, right? Remember, women have agency. If she wanted to leave, if she's in a situation, she decided to be in a situation, and you can leave and she can deal with it, right? Because women have no qualms about leaving us when it's no longer benefiting them, right? So you just simply say, "Hey, I'm seeing other women," or ghost or whatever. Don't stop feeling this guilt. You're dealing. You have to deal with women righteously. What do you want? And that's the most important. Stop worrying about her feelings or anything like that. It doesn't matter. But yeah, just tell her, hey, I'm gonna take a break, or I'm seeing other women. Doesn't matter because you don't care anymore. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Nothing special. Same old, same old. Keep doing your thing. Enjoy yourself, and be smart. You guys have a good night.